Konnichiwa! Hey guys! Today I'm going to be walking you through some essential Japanese words and phrases that you need to know before you visit Japan. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Ali. Watashi wa Nihon ni sunde imashita. Sorry, my pronunciation is not perfect. However, I have been traveling around Japan for quite a while, and I've also had a lot of people come visit me and they don't know any Japanese. There's a bunch of words that I've noticed that are very, very important to know, and I think you guys will find these words very useful in your trip to Japan. Word number one is sumimasen. I probably say this word the most when I'm in Japan because it covers a lot of grounds. It can be used to say, excuse me, I'm sorry, as well as getting someone's attention. Maybe to you right now this doesn't seem like a big deal, but especially in a crowded area like Tokyo, for example, you're gonna be bumping into people, there's gonna be a lot of like pushing and shoving, but the least you can say is sumimasen, like, oh, like, sorry for hitting you, excuse me, trying to get your waiter's attention, like, hey, sumimasen, like, this really is the most important word if you need help remembering it. My friend taught it to me as sumi for my sins. Word number two is arigatou gozaimasu. More than likely, you've probably heard the word arigato before. However, that is not really how you say it, and it is not technically the most polite way to say it. So first of all, the R in Japanese is not like an R. It kind of sounds like a light D. So it'd be more like arigato instead of arigato. If you are going to be using this word with someone who is not your close friend, like someone who works at a restaurant or your hotel, then you're gonna want to make it formal, which is arigatou gozaimasu. This is another word I use all the time. I feel like when in doubt, you are going to be grateful for somebody doing something for you. So make sure you know that word. It'll come in handy. Word number three is doko. Doko means where. If you're traveling in Japan and most likely you're gonna get lost or not know where something is at some point, you're gonna wanna ask someone where is blah blah blah. Let's say, for example, that you're gonna try and find the bathroom. Bathroom in Japan is toire, like toilet, but without the T. You're gonna add wa, which is what you would put after a subject, and then doko desu ka. Desu ka is basically like a question mark. Altogether, that would be toire wa doko desu ka? I promise that they're not going to just like blurb out words and you're just gonna be like, I don't know what you just said. They will probably either like direct you to the bathroom or walk you to the bathroom. Most of the time, people in Japan are that helpful and they want to make sure that you get to the place that you're trying to go to, especially if you look lost. So don't be afraid to say these things. They're very helpful. If you're trying to look for anything else, you would just replace toire with whatever you're looking for. Like, ari wa doko desu ka? Where am I? This one will definitely come in handy. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Word number four is arimasu ka. This word is also very helpful if you're trying to find something, but not necessarily a location. So let's say that you're at a store and you're trying to find a SIM card, for example. You would say, SIM cardo wa arimasu ka? So basically you would put your subject, whatever you're trying to see if you have, wa, and then arimasu ka. Basically, you would be asking them, do you guys have SIM cards here? Popcorn wa arimasu ka? Sushi wa arimasu ka? Or if you don't know the word in Japanese that you're trying to ask for, you can just show a picture and just say, arimasu ka? More than likely, they will help you out there and they will either be like, oh, no, or they're gonna be like, ah, it's right over here, and they will like take you to the place. Definitely another word that is very, very helpful. Word number five. So this is an important word because it is a polite way to say no. For the most part, if you end up saying no, they will probably know what you mean. However, there is a polite way to say it, and that is going to be daijobu. This is a word that I say all the time. For example, if they're like motioning, like, do you want a bag with this? Basically saying like, no, thank you, I'm okay. On the other hand, if you were to say daijobu with an upward inflection in your voice, you're basically asking, are you okay? Daijobu? For me, it's come in handy a lot, and I actually say it all the time. Number six. So this next one is a phrase, and it's kind of long, so if you want to just shorten it down, I can teach you that as well. You're basically asking, like, do you understand English? Do you speak English? So the translation for this phrase is going to be, do you understand English? Because sometimes you don't need to speak it, but do you understand? The whole phrase is ego ga wakarimasu ka? But the main word I would suggest knowing is ego, like Eggo waffles. If you say ego with like eyebrows raised, like ego, like they'll understand what you're trying to ask, like English, like do you speak English? Either they'll say yes, probably in English because you're asking about them knowing English, or they'll say, like, chotto matte, please wait, and they're gonna go find somebody who knows English, or they'll try and figure out a better way to communicate with you. I find that especially with people working in the hospitality business, they definitely want to help you. By just asking if they know English, they'll be able to help you better, or they'll be able to find someone who can help you better, which is always good. Number 7. Now we're gonna kind of switch into the realm of restaurants or ordering food. So if you're in Japan, whether you're visiting or you're moving there or whatever it may be, more than likely you're gonna end up at a restaurant at some point during your time there. There's gonna be that awkward point when you're gonna be like holding up the menu like I don't know how to say this in Japanese, but like this one, I don't know. The full phrase for this one is going to be kore o kudasai. So kore is basically saying like this one. So you could say, oh, kore, like this one. But if you're trying to say it nicely, like this one please, or like can I have this one please, or just something nicer, you could say kore o kudasai. Kudasai is basically a way of saying please. If you can remember that, great. If kore is all we got, also great. Number 8. So this one I also find to be extremely helpful, especially in some of the smaller towns. The menus may not be in English at all. In a place like Tokyo, for example, there may be an English menu or there'll be an English translation next to the Japanese. If that's not the case, then you're just gonna get a menu that's full of Japanese words, and sometimes it is literally handwritten, and Google Translate does not roll with that. I would recommend using this next phrase, which is nani desu ka? That's basically asking, what is this? By like holding up the menu and pointing out one of the options and saying like, oh, nani desu ka? Like, what is this? They might say like, oh, hamburger, or oh, ramen. So they'll use a word that they think you might know to try and help decipher what is actually on the menu. Most people end up in restaurants in Japan at some point, so very, very helpful to know. I have a bunch more words that I think would also be helpful, but I know Japanese is a lot to take in for somebody who has never even heard the language. The words are very different from English and are honestly just hard to remember when you're a beginner. So I'm just gonna leave you with these for now. If you have any more questions or something you would like to know, or even a video recommendation for the future, please leave it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you found this video helpful. I know it can be really intimidating to go to another country that speaks a whole other language than you, but thank you guys so much for watching, and ganbatte. Bye bye!